You're listening to Operation Self Reset. Ask, believe, achieve your perfect day. What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where each and every week we dive into a different topic in the world of personal development. And today we have an amazing sponsor for today's show. That is BarkBox. Head on over to barkbox.com/reset to get yourself an additional month of BarkBox subscription if you sign up for a 6 or 12-month plan. BarkBox is a company that provides dog goodies directly delivered to your doorstep. If you own a dog or if you know of somebody that owns a dog and want to surprise them with an amazing gift, head on over to barkbox.com/reset. So, with that being said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's show. We are going to be talking about something that I haven't really touched on in a very long time, and it's requesting your perfect day. Now, this is a very kind of odd topic. A lot of you may be thinking, Jake, this is ridiculous. I wasn't expecting. How can I request a day in my life? Well, if you're from the South, I apologize for that really irritating voice. But for the individuals that want to find out more, this is where it all begins. There was a book, a massive, successful book that was written probably early 2000s, late 90s, called The Secret. And The Secret is nothing more than three things. Number one, you ask for something. Number two, you believe in that something. And number three, you achieve it. Now, there's a lot of people out there in the world today that believe the book, The Secret, or the mythology, or the idea of basically wanting and pulling things into your world, your mind, your body, your spirit, your well-being, your physical sense is a bunch of baloney. Now, it doesn't really matter where I stand it doesn't really matter where you stand on it, but I think there is a reoccurring theme amongst the individuals looking for that next step in the personal development sense. Now, the reason why I brought up The Secret is because it's like the Tesla of the early 2000s. The reason why I say it was Tesla because it was cool and unique and it was different and it was very popular. A lot of people knew about it. A lot of people read the book. A lot of people saw the documentary. And with that, when you have such a massive amount of people reading and watching something, there's always going to be the yin and the yang, the yes and the no, that's right, that's wrong kind of style. Now, for me personally, even though I said it doesn't really matter what I believe, I kind of believe in it. Now, obviously, there are a lot of loopholes. Sitting on your couch and hoping that there's going to be a check of $1 million delivered to you is not going to happen. For individuals thinking that they're going to magically get a new car by absolutely not working hard for it, well, obviously, we understand the repercussions. It's just not going to happen. But for the individuals that are on a course, the individuals that are striving towards something, the individuals that want to make things happen in their life, they understand that they need to go out there and get it, but along with that, they can ask, they can believe, and then of course they will achieve that thing. Now, the reason why I say that today we're going to be talking about requesting your perfect day is because in the world a lot of us in the world, well, obviously we're on the world, but what I'm trying to get to is that a lot of us in our day to day life think about everything else we have to do except the way that we want to present ourselves in that space. Let me digress with a story that kind of pull this all together. For myself, I am on the path of expanding this brand, this podcast, and I knew in that progression I was going to have to start to reach out and get in touch with different corporations and get myself to speak and all that different types of jazz. On one of my vision boards, aka kind of diaries, aka a journal, whatever you want to call it, I put on there that I wanted to speak for a Fortune 500 company. Now, in that progression, I was asked out of nowhere, literally out of thin air, a gentleman from Office Depot, who was very high up, was part of their personal development program within the company, enjoyed the show, wanted me to come and speak to their audience. It was the two final people for that position, for that speaking of their national conference, was myself, a podcaster from Milwaukee, and the other was a New York Times bestselling author. Well, we can kind of figure out who they took. It was a New York Times bestselling author. Now, obviously, you can think it was a failure. It didn't work out. I manifested, I created this want, this desire to speak on a stage in front of a large audience, that the business was a part of a Fortune 500. That means it was one of the biggest 500 companies here in the United States of America. Did I achieve it? No. But did I get in contact with individuals? Did I strike up conversations? Did I send contracts? Did I negotiate? Did I envision myself going there and speaking? Of course, full heartedly. It didn't work out, but I would still say that was a big win. Now, obviously, you're thinking to yourself, well, that's just luck of the draw, luck be a lady. You put yourself out there, obviously, good things are going to happen to you. I say yes, you're right in that regard. But if you look through the testament of time, if you look to the individuals that have done something in the world, if you look at the sports athletes that have gone through great times and low times and then succeeded once again, the one thing that all these individuals that we look up to, you and I, we look up to, they have a mental advantage. And we can all agree that they have something that the average Joe just doesn't have. Now, what is that? I don't know. I would say it's a little pizzazz, maybe a little arrogance, confidence. But the one thing that I think they all have is a mindset. And a mindset is nothing more than understanding that you need to be clear on where you want to go. You have to be fortified within your mind of what it is that you want to create, what it is you want to do, and what it is that you're going to perform on any given day. The one thing that I think we can all agree upon is that great athletes have a great mental attitude. They have a fortified mind that can allow them to go into very stressful situations and to complete a tough pass, to do something heroic, to pull the team into victory. We get that. But unfortunately, we don't look into the deeper underlining roots. We don't look at the preparation or the internal chatter or the way that they prepare for a game. We just see them preparing. We don't see the Olympians training for years and years and broken bones and sprained ankles and torn cartilage and sickness and losing money and losing contracts and traveling around the country, around the world, time and time again to be rejected only to finally succeed. And here they are on the biggest stage right here, right now, of the Winter Olympics. We all understand it. We see them we believe that they're the best ever, which they are because here they are today, but we don't see the preparation. We don't see the years before today's marvelous accomplishment on the slopes or on the ice. We understand that. But what does it take in that progression? What does it take to get them from not knowing much to a gold medalist or a football player, American style or European style football? It doesn't really matter. What it takes is that they must believe in what they're doing is going to get them the reward that they choose. It's pretty easy to understand that. They work hard in the gym, they work hard on the field because they obviously want to win games. We understand that. But along with that, some way, somehow, they are asking, as in what it is that they want. They are believing in that process, and then, of course, they are achieving it. They may not achieve it every day, but over the course of their lifetime, you can say that they are quote-unquote achievers. The same applies to us in creating our perfect, realistic day. Now, the reason why I say this, and then I think the reason why I'm really getting giddy about creating your perfect day, is not so much thinking about your productivity, or not so much getting rid of your procrastination, or not so much trying to derive yourself all the negative things that are going on in your life, but I think it's really understanding the way that you want to represent yourself in that next coming day. Because we give so much energy to what we have to do. We give so much energy on the time we have to wake up. We give so much energy into all these different areas, but we really don't give ourselves a second to think, how do I want to wake up? How do I want to become a better individual? How do I want my energy to be? How do I want my feelings and emotions to represent who I am? We never think about that stuff. You know why? Because that doesn't get us, quote unquote, what we think. We think it doesn't get us what we want. It doesn't help us. It doesn't give us a roadmap. It doesn't give us a plan. It's something that we're wishing upon. It's like you crack your tooth out of your face and you put it under your pillow and you're wishing, you're hoping that the tooth fairy is going to come. Now, obviously, if you're a young child, hopefully you have a parent that can give you a penny or two. If you're an adult that cracks your tooth, well, chances are you're paying a lot of money to get your teeth fixed up. But nonetheless, I digress. Nonetheless, we all give too much effort into things that we want to accomplish. I talk about the sleep journal. I talk about how we need to prepare our day the night before. I think it's very valid, right? Thinking 3 things that we need to do and then 1 thing that we absolutely have to do no matter what. And we go about that, but we never give the energy to the way that we want to feel. Now, why do I think this is important? Lately, I've been talking about this all the time. I apologize if you're a regular fan. I love figuring out how to enhance my feelings and emotions throughout my day, my week, my month. I have been obsessed with gut microbes. I've been obsessed with figuring out how can I enhance my feelings and emotions better to make sure I make the right decisions. And the only way that I have found recently is to understand what goes into my body, the way that my body moves, by exercise and stuff like that, things that you already know how to do. But lastly, the kind of cream on top would be to realistically lay in bed and to think about how I want to prepare my day tomorrow. How do I want to show up as? I think is the biggest thing that I have mentally been going through. Hey guys, sorry for the interruption, but I want to talk about our today's sponsor for Operation Self Reset. That is BarkBox. You're thinking to yourself, what is BarkBox? For humans, BarkBox is a delivery to 4 to 6 natural treats and a super fun toy curated around a surprise theme each month. For dogs, BarkBox is like the joy of a million belly scratches. You're thinking, how does this work? Number 1, you choose your dog size. Number 2, you choose a plan. 1 month, 6 months, or 12-month plans are available. And of course, you can cancel at any time, and there's free shipping. And lastly, get the BarkBox delivered to your doorstep on the 15th of each month. A couple of key points here I want to make clear. Number 1, all edibles are made in the USA or Canada, and 100% of our products, aka BarkBox products, are tested on animals. Number 2, Scouts Honor. If your dog does not like something in the box, we'll send you something they'll love for free because we're all about dog happiness. And lastly, like I said, free shipping on any BarkBox within the continental US. Cancel your membership at any time. If you are looking to join BarkBox to get your dog excited about treats, excited about getting an awesome toy every single month, and you plan on signing up for a 6-month or a 12-month plan, if you want to get yourself 1 free additional month, make sure you use the promo code RESET. Again, go to barkbox.com/reset to get yourself 1 month free off of the 6-month or 12-month plan. This is an amazing product. We have a rescue dog here at the Naraki household, and this dog loves getting his BarkBox treats along with the awesome toy. It is a truly a magical experience for that dog. I wish I could have my own box delivered to my doorstep every single month. But nonetheless, again, thanks to BarkBox for being a part of the show. And if you're a dog lover like myself, head on over to barkbox.com. Use the promo code RESET to get yourself 1 month free. All right, guys, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the show. Now, again, it's not sexy, it's not attractive, it's not cool, it's not something you're going to post about on social media, it's nothing that you're going to create a YouTube video about, but it is something that personally has worked for me, and thank goodness there is other documented research that has gone along with it. Now, like I stated, there is a book called The Secret. I recommend you read it. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's a short read. It is kind of fluffy, but there is a lot of good meat and potatoes in there. Read it with an open mind, of course, and you will see the obvious truths. One of them is pulling things into your life. One of them is acting as if you are like a radio tower and you're pulling in different transmissions into your quote unquote life. One of them is asking how you want to feel tomorrow. Because, like I said, there's a lot of great things that we prepare about for tomorrow, but we never give how we want to feel tomorrow as part of our vision. So, if you start to think about how you want to show up tomorrow and the way you want to feel, the energy levels, it will transform your day because your subconscious mind runs in the background, almost like a software program on a computer. You can't see it, you can't understand it, but you know that there's software going on behind that screen. All you see is the screen in front of you and the way that the website opens up, that program opens up. You're not really understanding of all the electrical currents and connections that are going on behind the scenes. The same with your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind dictates and runs who you are. If you want to become a better person, you start to need to hack into that subconscious mind. One way to go about it is to prepare yourself the day before, aka before you go to bed, and think about and start to believe how you want to show up tomorrow. And once you start to do that, your body will generate the energy, the need, the must into our lives for us to show up as that individual. If I'm losing you, I apologize. This podcast was not designed to confuse you or to make you go, this guy is really weird. It is designed to give you a little extra boost. It's designed to give you a little extra edge in a world where we're always looking for the quick, easy thing. This is something that you can do on a regular basis that I know and I guarantee that you never do. So give this a try. So how do we do it? Again, literally just think to yourself, how do I need to feel tomorrow? What do I need to feel as tomorrow? You could ask it in a really weird, funky way or a very simple way is, how do I want to feel tomorrow? How do I want to feel tomorrow? I want to feel energized. I want to feel happy. I want to feel calm. I want to feel present. All these different keywords and stuff like that. Say them repeatedly to yourself a couple of times. Go to bed. Wake up the next day. You will be surprised at your results. I guarantee it. I was going to say, I don't want to say I guarantee, but I guarantee it. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Jake, I don't believe in this. Give me some documented research. Give me some real meat and potatoes that I can use and leverage to make sure that I will get the full Monty, the full energy pill here. Okay, number one, I want you to relive, go back into your archives of your life. Remember the first time that you went on a date with somebody. Okay? Think of that the first time either you met your wife or husband, the first time you went on a blind date, the first day that you went on a date with somebody that you really thought was awesome and you wanted to date long term. Think of that experience. Recall the time that you were showering, you were shaving, you were getting your hair done, putting on makeup, whatever it was before the date. What were you thinking about? You're thinking about how that date was going to go. You're thinking about the way the connection was going to go. You're visualizing the way that you're going to interact with that person. You were nervous and excited and all those different emotions, but you're still kind of going through in your mind the way that you wanted it to turn out before either got destroyed or it turned out to be a magical experience, right? Some dating experiences are hilarious. They're destructive. They've blown up in people's faces, but other experiences have gone amazing. Regardless of how that date would go, you, in the confines of your own personal space, in your own home, chances are you replay that date over and over again because you thought and you knew it was going to go amazing and you're really excited, regardless of how the outcome was. So, that's number one. You have already done this to some facet. Chances are it has worked out. You're either with somebody or you're with somebody for a short period of time or a long period of time, or you just had a good experience but it didn't lead to anything. Whatever the case may be, you have already done this. So even though you think I'm crazy right now, technically you have already done it. The second thing is before a job. Think of before a job. You're putting on your sport coat, you're putting on your suit, you're putting on your suit coat, whatever women wear to job interviews. You put that on, you're feeling, you're visualizing, you're going through, you're rehearsing what it takes to create an amazing interview. What does it take to have a great experience, a great rapport with that interview person, right? You're going through it. So that's number two. Number three, the trip. Before you go on a trip, you're thinking about how it's going to feel amazing for you to touch the sand to your toes, how the drink's going to feel in your hand, how the sun is going to touch your face and feel warm, how the noise of the ocean is going to be delightful. All these different types of feelings and emotions we already plan out before we go on a trip. The next, when you have to wake up, say for example, you have to wake up 30 minutes, an hour earlier than normal for some odd weird reason, you're already planning that the night before because you're setting an alarm, but also you're kind of, you're kind of preparing your body, you're preparing your mind, like, all right, it's going to be early, it's going to stink, but I have to wake up at 5 a.m. even though I know that I like waking up at 6 a.m. I have to do this, I have to do this. And what happens when your alarm goes off at 5 a.m.? Either number one, you wake up a couple of minutes before that 5 a.m. alarm clock, or number two, your body has been waiting for that alarm clock, so you wake up and you're not as tired as you usually are because you know you got to get your butt out of bed either for a trip, out of town conference, for kids, whatever the case may be. We have all done this in some facet. The challenge is, or the reason why I'm really harping on this, is because it's a cutoff thing for me to break through. To you, it's a tough sell because it's not something that you and I think about all the time or we really agree upon, but we have done it in our previous times. From the date to the job interview to a trip to getting up early, we have planned the way that we want to feel well before the activity starts. So, where am I going with this? Bringing it back home here to how do we get ourselves to feel amazing, full of energy, full of life, present, confident, full of vigor and sassiness, whatever feelings and emotions you want to bring to your life. How do we do that? We plan that by asking for it the night before. The weird part is that we're asking for it. The other weird part is chances are you're like, this is ridiculous. I don't really see this happening in my life. I have enough going on. The last thing that I want to do is ask for something. I am telling you full heartedly, a truthful individual, a believer of this, give it a try for at least 3 nights. After 3 nights, if you don't see any change, then throw it out. I guarantee it. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I usually wake up around 5:15, 5:20, right in there. Tomorrow, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm prepping my mind, I'm prepping my body to make sure that my butt is out of bed at 5 a.m. I want to feel amazing. I want to feel energized. I don't want to run to the coffee maker or the tea maker and throw that into my body. I truly want to create something magical for myself tomorrow because I have a lot on my plate and I know that I need to wake up early. The same for you. What is it or how is it that you want to feel? And if you don't know how to ask yourself that question, then go ahead and ask yourself this: how do I want to feel tomorrow? How do I want to feel tomorrow? And if you really want to bring that energy to a specific point tomorrow, when do I need a majority of my energy? When do I need a majority of my energy? Or when do I need a majority of my confidence? When do I need a majority of my sassiness or sarcasm? When do I need a majority of my humor? And plan that in your day, and I guarantee it, around those certain hours or the way your overall day will pan out, great things will come to you. It's ridiculous. I'm harping back here on the book The Secret, but also too, Brendon Burchard just released a book called High Performance Habits. The book is basically driven um, on a questionnaire that he sent out to over a couple thousand people. In that course, he has figured out high performers to average performers to low performers, and the high performers, how do they have energy on a regular basis? How do they have joy on a regular basis? Is that they claim it, is that they ask for it, is that they plan for it. This is not hogwash, this is not made up, this is not fluffy, this is actually documented stuff. If you want more information on this, send me a text message. I'll send you the exact page where Brendon Burchard talks about this in his research with thousands of participants that have sent in their questionnaires, and to the top 5% of high performers, how do they have energy every single day? How do they have joy every single day? Is that they ask for it. And so what I'm asking for you to do sounds ridiculous, but when you start to get the research papers complete, when you start to do your own investigation, it is possible, it is legit, it actually works. So I'm going to stop here with harping on why I believe you have to ask how you want to feel the next morning. Just basically do it. If you want to ask the right questions, say to yourself, how do I want to feel tomorrow? And or if you want it during a specific time, when do I need the most energy? When do I need the most humor? When do I need the most sarcasm? When do I need the most patience? Tomorrow. And think about it. Rehearse it, go over it, and then bam, you're done. Going back to the secret, ask, believe, achieve. Going back to Brendon Burchard's high performance habits, the top 5% of all high achievers that have taken his questionnaire, of which was multiple thousands of people, they ask for the way that they want to feel tomorrow. Sounds ridiculous, sounds silly, but it's only sounds silly and ridiculous if you don't do it. Give it a try, do your own hypothesis, and see if this truly works for you. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. I thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself, taking the time to kind of get into the mindset of who you are, where you want to go, and who you're all about. I appreciate you full heartedly. I thank you for your time. I love you guys more than you know. And from there, keep on rocking it. Keep on giving a little bit of awesomeness to people who need it. If you can, please leave a review on iTunes. Next, if you could, please share this podcast with somebody who needs it. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. To you guys that are looking for a little more energy, a little more charisma in your life, this is your takeaway. The night before, as you're laying in bed, before you fall asleep, the cell phone's off, the lights are out, everything is calmed down. Think, how do you want to wake up as? Who do you want to wake up as? What it is that you need more in your life? Energy, joy, confidence. Request it. I guarantee it, you will have a little bit more of it. It's not going to be a game changer, but you're going to have a little bit more of it. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Until next week, Wednesday, be freaking awesome. We'll see ya.